The problem of transport remains a major challenge in Indian cities. This is a booming sector in India because of the emergence of the middle income class there aspiring to acquire a vehicle. I am originally from West Bengal, so close to Calcutta. Calcutta is notorious to have very large traffic congestions problems. Most of it is fossil fuel driven. We wanted to look at the transition of transport sector in terms of decarbonisation and whether it can lead to a just transition, leaving no one behind.
My background is social science. I'm an economist. So I'm more interested to look into the issues around energy and climate change, primarily from the socio-economic perspective. So I was interested to understand, yes, we can do the technology and economic analysis of electric vehicles, but more importantly, from the social dimension, there have not been enough research that is done in this area. Transport is contributing significant amount of CO2, and government wants to move away from the current regime to electric vehicle regime because of the targets set by the government of India of net zero emissions by 2070. At the same time, when they move away, there are socio-economic distortions. So those distortions are to be minimized. That's the challenge.
Policy-making bodies, they are fixated with the technological solution, and they are assuming that it will lead to a solution which is accessible, which is affordable, and which would be universal, but that may not be the case. People are not thinking about fair transition. Unless it can take its population with it, we won't see the solutions being rolled out and accepted, adopted by the population widely. With a lot of people in the poverty, transition to EVs can be a challenging issue in itself because many of them may not be able to afford it.
And cities like Delhi, poorer class stay in the rented house, and where a lot of flexibilities are not there to deploy your own home charging station. So they'll be relying on public charging stations, which is costly.
One possibility is building associations are creating their own buildings. So in those societies, they can have rooftop solar panels, and so the charging stations could be combining with the rooftop solar power, and that could create local renewable energy generated charging.
Rural areas, the electricity supply still is not very reliable. Okay, there are power costs. Okay, so if you don't have reliable power supply, how do you set up charging stations in rural areas, and how many charging stations? Will it be cost effective? In urban areas, you get those number of vehicles, right? So the vehicle density is very high in urban areas compared to rural areas. So it may not be commercially or financially feasible for somebody to deploy an electric vehicle charging station in rural area. The oil sector itself, gas sector itself, so they also generate a lot of jobs. So when you actually stop the oil sector, so definitely will impact jobs negatively.
The electric vehicle would require lesser maintenance because of lesser moving parts involved, and in the manufacturing sector, in the vehicles, these are two areas where job losses would be high. So there would be some transfer, but the same people may not get retrained and get jobs.
So they need to look at the entire supply chains. There are opportunities where actually you need to capitalize on them. For instance, let's say instead of importing a lot of equipment from other countries, if those equipment can be produced domestically, that can help you in arresting some of the employment effects. There are multiple ways through which this decarbonization can happen. One of the ways definitely is electric vehicles. But we need to change the culture of moving only relying on transport. to ensure that, okay, walking, for instance, they should create a mechanism so people actually optimize the walking. So, and then you also rely on us metros, okay. Delhi metro is one of the successful metros. Apart from that, there are other alternative fuels. You should have a portfolio of options for decarbonization.
The positive outcome is that when you talk to the policy making bodies and policymakers, they now understand that the solution has to be something that would not leave anyone behind. My work has always been going beyond just the technocratic solution, embedding it with the local communities so that they can deliver and they can be empowered, and we can create solutions which are acceptable, affordable, and reliable to the community.